Venice Beach in California is known for its sun, waves, palm trees, and, more recently, homeless people. Hundreds of tents border the beach in this Los Angeles suburb that has attracted surfers and visitors for decades. The region is a jumble of any item that can be used as a shelter, as well as rubbish and detritus, with poor hygiene. Urine competes with the scent of suntan lotion. I didn't expect to see so many homeless people here in Venice. Already in Hollywood a few days ago, I was a bit surprised, but here, all these tents touching each other, these shacks, these tarpaulins, it's almost like a village, said John Jackson, who was visiting from the southern U.S. state of Alabama. Authorities demanded homeless individuals living on the beach take down their tents during the day before the coronavirus pandemic. However, City Hall postponed the rule to reduce the danger of infection among those who are already sick. Homeless people in the Venice area have taken advantage of the health crisis to congregate on the city's beach, many of whom have lost housing and free meals as a result of the pandemic. The homeless have been part of Venice folklore since the 60s or 70s, but now their numbers have exploded. And they've changed too, said an assistant in a souvenir shop who did not want to be named. Before, a lot of them were hippies, beach bums who had more or less chosen this way of life. Now they are really poor guys. Almost everyone out there is very bad physically and mentally, said this man in his 60s. I see pain, mental illnesses, drugs, and it's been rough for me this past month, said Denise D'Angelo, a homeless woman who spoke to AFP near the beachfront encampment. Probably the main problem that I've had personally is sleeping. I usually like to sleep alone by the water, the Pacific Ocean, to keep away from problems, said D'Angelo. Her only shelter, she says, is a beach umbrella. Nearly 2,000 persons were documented as homeless in the streets of Venice just before the outbreak. The numbers have been continuously increasing. However, now that life is returning to normal and tourists are returning, the seaside homeless camp is becoming inconvenient and even political in nature. Mike Bonin, a city council member who supports relocating the homeless, has clashed with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office and neighborhood associations, who seek a more forceful removal of the homeless. Like many people who visit Los Angeles, Jackson, the Alabama tourist, said he cannot understand why all these people are homeless when California has the reputation of being so rich. In terms of GDP, California is the world's fifth largest economy. It is, nonetheless, one of the poorest states in the United States. It has the unfortunate distinction of having the country's greatest homeless population. More than 66,000 people were homeless in Los Angeles County alone before COVID-19, up nearly 13% from the previous year. According to the Los Angeles City agency responsible for addressing homelessness, one of the main causes for this is a shortage of affordable housing in a city where rent is extremely high. Between 2010 and 2020, rent increased at a 65% annual pace, about double the national average. In the same time span, median household income in Los Angeles increased by only 36%. Some organizations are striving to provide aid and accommodation to Venice's homeless, but it's a difficult task because some of them have been living on the streets for years. Consider Roderick Sims, who is 50 years old and has been homeless for 15 years. He claimed that his downward spiral began when he divorced. I don't know what to do. I'm hoping that they give me, a place where I can start learning how to live inside again, he told AFP while eating grapes outside his tent on the beach. I'll tell you, once you're outside, you get feral, like a wild man, Sims said.